Assalamu alaikum, this is Sarmat Sadeed and you are watching SetKit. Today I'm going to talk about dynamic language runtime. So we start with the dynamic word or dynamic. What dynamic is exactly? A dynamic means that an object's type isn't known until runtime, and that means that the members of that object and the signatures, what parameters they take, what is returned, that isn't known until runtime. Now, that means that calls on dynamic objects must be dynamically dispatched, and that means that a call could fail at runtime because the method doesn't exist or there is a data type mismatch for that method. Well, C# programming seems to be some old-fashioned boring talk because how could you program in a world that you don't know until runtime? I'm not sure if the program I am running will be succeeded or not. So, dynamic objects are all around us. When you are programming against, for example, an HTML DOM or an XML DOM, it's only at runtime that if I find out a particular element, certain element that I'm looking for is is available there or not. You guys might remember the concept, the C++ concept, that is dynamic binding, in which compiler determines which function to call at runtime, and depending upon the type of object responsible for the call. Okay, so dynamic language. In future, you might need to program and interoperate with a dynamic language or to integrate languages. So introducing to you dynamic language, a high-level language which at runtime execute many common programming behaviors that static programming languages perform during compilation. The behaviors might include anything like from extending the program code, yes, by extending the objects or by extending the definition the program is using. Okay. Dynamic languages such as Python and Ruby. Introducing to you a new keyword in C#, that is dynamic. Dynamic is a type like any other types that you have been playing with all around. For example, it would be a type of a parameter, or it could be a return type of a function. Like here in my function, there is dynamic with x that is used as a parameter type, and this dynamic is used as a function return type. Like here, this is returning z. Okay. So statically declares an object to be dynamic. In this program, that now I have statically declared an object's type to be dynamic. Well, C# is going to do a trick here. It is replacing the compile time type check with metadata. What is the name? What are the types of parameters being passed? So the metadata is used at runtime to resolve the call, and two things is gonna happen. It will be dynamically dispatched, or I'll get the runtime error. Okay, here is a simple code, a simple easy code that is written in Python, and in this code I have a calculator dynamic object. Okay, I'll go to the function of add. There is a function of add, and which is taking two parameters a and b, and one might be thinking what would be the types of these parameters that add function is taking. Okay, that doesn't depend, because whatever makes sense at runtime will be the types of the parameters. Back to the function. Here the calculator object, that is a dynamic object, is looking for a method called add, and which it pass two ints. Here in this function, it is passing the ints. The same here, it's passing decimals, and here it's passing the strings. Okay, but the result of this function here is a dynamic object. So there is a typecast from a dynamic object into an int in this case here in the case of our add function. I'll go to the output of this program. Here this is 42, it's right, 42 and 42 with the string. Okay, that's pretty right. What we saw was three calls into a dynamic object. Those three calls here were dynamically dispatched. Since the add parameters made sense, we were able to pass different parameters and use them all in a dynamic way. Okay, next, one question that comes up this is, isn't var the same thing as dynamic? No, var isn't the same thing at all, but var is type inference. It is requesting compiler at compile time, like you can say, Mr. Compiler, would you take a look at what's on the right side of an assignment statement and make that be the type of what's on the left side of the assignment. At compile time, the type of the object is known, but this is not the case with dynamic. With dynamic, we don't know nor we care of the type of object until runtime. That's the discussion we have been doing. Well, C Sharp's implementation of dynamic happens with using the DLR. DLR is the normal assembly hosted on the CLR and a part of system core. Every machine that has .NET 4 installed and has support for DL as well as DLR. Dynamic language, high-level language which at runtime execute many common programming behaviors that static programming languages perform during compilation. These behaviors could be anything like adding new code to the project by extending objects and definitions. Now, CLR and DLR, the common language runtime, this is what we have some idea about. The CLR is the core set of services offered by .NET, a type system, a JID, like we know just in time, a garbage collector. But the DLR, a DLR builds atop of this and offers services for dynamic languages, dynamic types, dynamic method dispatch, code generation. How is it helpful? The DLR provides support for dynamic features in statically typed languages, facilitates sharing of libraries and objects. Having said this, with DLR you can create dynamic objects that may be accessible from the other languages. So DLR provides support for dynamic method dispatch and invocation. The DLR subsystem. The DLR subsystem consists of these three things: expression trees. Expression trees represent code in a tree-like structure, for example, a method call or a binary operation. Call side caching. Method calls using dynamic objects are cached in the memory for faster dispatch. Here the DLR can use the the cache history for subsequent calls to the same method for faster dispatch. Dynamic object interoperability. The DLR enables interoperability between statically and dynamically typed languages. The dynamic language runtime includes a collection of types, classes, and interfaces in this library named as system.dynamic.namespace. Okay, the next is language binders. Language binders are in the DLR help it to talk to other languages. So for each dynamic language, we definitely need to have a binder that can interact with the other languages. So as an example, the following are the commonly used language binders. The .NET binder, this is used to talk to .NET objects. The JavaScript binder, this is used to talk to objects created in JavaScript objects. Iron Ruby binder enables the DLR to talk to Iron Ruby objects. Iron Python binder helps the DLR to talk to Iron Python objects. The COM binder, this helps the DLR to talk to COM objects. We have the logical visual representation of the dynamic language runtime, the languages it uses, and the language binders it uses to interact with other languages. Thank you for watching the video.